very unfair what's going on. People in the court just said to me, I can't believe it. This is the case.
Because Donald Trump has so many charges against him, there are so many different cases, the voters are having difficulty kind of teasing them out. Donald Trump's level of legal liability, this guy couldn't get a job at the local mall.
Damn!
I was wondering if you guys are hiring right now. I was thinking about applying for a job. I was thinking about applying for a job here. I'm currently facing 88 felonies. I was wondering if that was going to be a problem.
I think working with diamonds and jewelry.
So do you guys hire people that sexually assault other people or?
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
I can imagine this is a question on the tip of everyone's tongue outside of the US looking in. Well, I don't have to imagine. I have many relatives who ask me this very question. If you wouldn't do business with the guy or hire him, since he's facing 88 felonies, found liable of sexual assault, and is currently on trial for paying hush money to an adult film star, why would you want to give him the nuclear codes? Again.
Right? The idea that a fast food restaurant wouldn't hire him with his record. And so the idea that we would make him president of the United States again, like, we get numb to it, right? We get sort of numb to who Donald Trump is. And because it's always so much, it's so many charges, it's so many, felonies, it's easy to just let it wash over you. But we really wanted to underscore, this is crazy.
And the answer I have most of the time is, I have no fucking clue. As Trump takes to court yet again this week, I mean, his court schedule is pretty tight. Tighter than his rear end, apparently, in the courtroom he's nodding off in. Oh, I'm here all week, folks.
I would say that he seems thinner than I have seen him in the past. He seems considerably older, and he seems annoyed, resigned, maybe angry. He seems like a man who's miserable to be here. And that's, I'm no body language expert, and this is just my observation, but he seemed old and tired and mad.
Donald Trump, been on the move his whole life. Golf, rallies, movement, action, sunlight, fresh air, freedom. This isn't lawfare, it's torture. They're making a 77-year-old man sit inside a dingy room for 8 hours straight, 4 days a week. And if he moves or talks, jail.
This new ad released by Republican voters against Trump has gone viral across social media. It shows someone going to various employers asking if they are hiring or not before divulging the plethora of criminal cases that employer would have to swim through before offering a W-2. Simple in its strategy, devastating in execution.
I was wondering if you guys are hiring right now. I was thinking about applying for a job. I was thinking about applying for a job here. I'm currently facing 88 felonies. For detention of classified information. Do you all take people that have been found liable for sexual assault, trying to overturn the 2020 election, falsifying business records? I was wondering if that was going to be a problem.
I think working with diamonds and jewelry.
They're going to do a background check.
Yeah.
So that's the only...
So probably not.
Yeah.
So do you guys hire people that sexually assault other people, or?
We run a phone background. It won't go through. No, we don't.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Donald Trump has been charged with 88 felonies and found liable for sexual assault. If Trump is too big of a liability to get a job at your local mall, he is too big of a liability to be president of the United States. Republican Accountability PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
To the point that it made its way onto MSNBC for hosts to discuss.
What are you seeing in terms of the liability for President Trump with the cases that are still in the future?
Well, look, as you know, I do focus groups with swing voters and voters across the political spectrum every week. And one of the things that we could see is that because Donald Trump has so many charges against him, there are so many different cases, the voters are having difficulty kind of teasing them out, understanding the difference. And because this one right now, basically because it contains the word porn star in the description, sometimes voters take it less seriously than they do some of the ones that we aren't sure whether or not will actually come to trial before the election. And so what we wanted to do with the ad is really underscore that Donald Trump's level of legal liability, this guy couldn't get a job at the local mall. right? The idea that he, a fast food restaurant wouldn't hire him with his record. And so the idea that we would make him president of the United States again, like, we get numb to it, right? We get sort of numb to who Donald Trump is. And because it's always so much, it's so many charges, it's so many, felonies, it's easy to just let it wash over you. But we really wanted to underscore, this is crazy. The idea that we would give this man access to classified documents, again, after the way that he handled classified documents, refused to give them back. I mean, there's just so many things about what we have seen from his behavior since he has been president. I'm not talking about even the person we saw who was president, but what we know about him since he left office that absolutely is disqualifying. And I think that because there's a numbness to voters, because you've got sort of two functional incumbents running against each other, people are sort of depressed by just sort of seeing a rerun of 2020. You do have to start showing people just how crazy this is. We're going to have new ways sort of wake people up to the insanity of all this.
And the thing is, not only does this ad highlight the absurdity of allowing this man back in office, but the culpability of the Republican Party, none more so than those very well aware of who Trump was while he was in office, spoke out against it to sell some books, then turn around and claim that you'll still vote for him in November. I'm looking at you, Bill Barr. How are you able to sit up straight with that crumbling spine and stupid haircut? I don't know why I said the haircut, but it just annoys me.
So, and we can't forget here that this entire thing came about because of reckless conduct of the president.
And I also know you've been asked many times, you've had your disagreements with former presidents. He's the presumptive nominee. We assume he will be the nominee. Will you support him in 2024?
Well, I've said all along, given two bad choices, I think it's my duty to pick the person I think would do the least harm to the country. And in my mind, that's I will vote the Republican ticket.
You will.
I will support the Republican ticket. I think the real danger to the country, the real danger to democracy, as I say, is the progressive agenda. And while Trump, and I said, Trump may be playing Russian roulette, but continuation of the Biden administration is national suicide, in my opinion.
This is why I take great caution in celebrating the Republicans suddenly deprogrammed from the MAGA contingent. Because as Mitch McConnell has proved time and time again, as the dinosaur prototype, they have a very malleable moral red line.
Tomorrow, that criminal trial, will your support for Donald Trump continue even if he's convicted in Manhattan?
Yeah, this trial is not going to have major political ramifications that a lot of people, I think it may have. When it comes to these issues, people see it more as reality TV at this point. They really do. And so, whether it's a conviction or what that conviction looks like, a lot of folks, they conflate all four of these different trials that he's in. I don't think it's good that he's going to be in the court, have to be in there probably 3 days a week, for a number of weeks. That takes him off the campaign trail. He'll probably go back on the campaign trail and almost like rehash what's going on. He'll try to victimize it, and that has worked for him, right? I mean, this has been going on for over a year, and his poll numbers never seem to go down because of the issue.
Well, yeah, you're going to politics, though. I'm asking you about right and wrong. You think you're comfortable with the idea of supporting someone who's convicted of a federal crime as president? No.
I don't think any American is comfortable with any of this. They don't like any of this, of course. But I mean, when it comes to actually, looking at each of these trials, as they kind of take place, whether it's this year or next year, or as they kind of line up, right now, this is about an election. Right? This is about politics. That's what people are judging this on. And the ultimate, decision will be in November.
With the eyes of the world on them, they'll lambast the man when he's calling for an insurrection, then moonwalk back into the voting booth to vote for him come November. Because power and money trumps morals every single time.
You have Donald Trump clearly goading the judge. The fact that he's doing something that appears by all accounts to be a direct violation of the order as late as tonight, in advance of a 9:30 hearing on violations with respect to witnesses and a violation with respect to jurors, both of which are things that a judge is going to care tremendously about. I think obviously he's going to hear from the defense, and, the betting is that he's going to certainly say that there was a violation, and he could impose the fine that is obviously negligible, and he can saber rattle about what's next. This is one where what I would say if he were sitting right here, I would say leave aside politics, leave aside what he's goading somebody to do. What would you do for any other defendant? We have seen the legal system bend over sort of so far to accommodate Donald Trump. He is not being treated worse. He is being treated so much better.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.